Welcome to the late night pajama edition of Ready to Love review. I know I'm late as hell on this review, but come on in because we finna talk about it anyway. Hey y'all, it's your girl P Hope and I am back with another video. This is Ready to Love season 4 episode, I believe this is episode 6, y'all. You remember Mother's Day weekend, they did not give us a review, so they gave us a review this past Friday. And let me tell you something, Mother Nature came in town and she has completely knocked your girl off her feet. She came in like a wrecking ball. Anyway, you know, that's neither here nor there. Today is Wednesday and I am just now recording this review. I did watch the show on Friday. I also did my notes about the show on Friday. But when I tell y'all I did not have the energy to get up and cut that camera on, I just found the energy. So, you know, as you can see, it's late at night. I done set the room up to get y'all as much lighting as I could. So it looked like Warner Brothers Studios in here. But I'm giving you very much somebody grandmama. I'm giving you power to the people. You know, I'm giving you, you know, what my man see when he roll over and wake up in the morning. Like, yeah, no, y'all, but look, I'm giving y'all cute pajamas. I'm giving y'all a matching pajama set. I did put on my raggedy sports bra so that I won't be doing too much hanging and dangling in the video, because you know I love y'all and I'm trying to respect y'all. And this particular pajama set comes with a matching scrunchie. I also have another one that comes with a matching headband. And if you guys are interested in something like that, if you know, if you do a lot of sleepovers, pajama parties, or you know, if you're like me and you have young men running around the house. I have a 17-year-old son, so you know, listen, I can't run around like I want to. I want to run around looking real naturey, real you know, giving you Madagascar tease, but I can't because I have a 17-year-old son. So until I am an empty nester with my son and daughter, you know, I wear little stuff like this around the house until I get ready to call it a night. So yeah, if you guys are interested in this particular pajama set or just any type of matching pajama sets, these are at Walmart, and you get the tops, the bottoms, and the hair accessories for $10. They're $9.97. So you know, you can always go order those online. And I will tell you, this brand, what is it? I forget what the Walmart brand is these days, but anyway, this particular brand runs big, so you can get your true to size, but just know that it's gonna fit you know, really loose, on the loose side, because it's made for sleeping, you know. This is not supposed to be sexy time. This is not turn your man on time. This is, let me throw these pajamas on so that I can run around the house and finish whatever I need to finish for the night. That's what kind of pajamas these are, and look cute while I'm doing it. That's what that is. So yeah, just know that they do run true to size and that they do fit really, really loose. So if you want it to be more on the fitted side, then you need to go down one size. But other than that, this is not a try-on haul, and this is not what you came here for. So I'm rambling. Let me just get on into this review. I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. I did not get to tell you all happy Mother's Day. Shout out to all of the mothers of the world. You know, we out here doing our thing. So I hope your day was everything that you wanted it to be. Mine was really, really good. I didn't do nothing but relax and spent time with my kids. My daughter made me a little card. We had a cute little dinner. It was nice. It was nice. So yeah, anyway, on to the review. This is what you came here for. You didn't come for all that extra shit. And you didn't come here to see me looking like somebody off the Boondocks either. But we here. And I also want to go ahead and apologize up front for that little humming sound that you might be hearing, because I have the fan blowing on me because of all these daggum lights, and I also have the air conditioner. I'm right by the air conditioner vent as well, so it might be a little noisy in the background. I'm hoping it doesn't pick up, but I just want to apologize ahead of time just in case it does, because I am using my microphone tonight, because the last video that I did, I was not happy with the sound quality at all. So I'm gonna see if using my mic for the reviews makes any type of a difference. But yeah, enough rambling, let's go with the video. Okay, so it's week 6, so of course we're meeting up at the ladies lounge. It's a ladies elimination this particular week. No, I'm sorry, it's a man's elimination, so that's why the ladies are meeting up at the ladies lounge. And Tommy lets all the ladies know that, hey, we are at the halfway mark. So all the ladies are like, yes, this thing is getting really hard, and you know, we're just ready to move along with the process. So Tommy says, close your eyes and tell me who you see when you close your eyes. I want to know who is this person, who is one of the first people that you think about and where your mind goes. And so, you know, everybody start cheesing and grinning because they just thinking about their number ones and just, you know, picturing a future with them. And then he says, so take that person and throw them out your damn head, because this week I want you to go on a date with the opposite of that person. So that was the trick for this week, because y'all know he said in episode 1 that he is going to be continuously throwing curveballs, and that's exactly what he did. So that was this week's curveball, is for the ladies to call their opposite, or the person that they're least attracted to, and go out with them. Because his whole purpose of saying that is because maybe the person that you keep falling for is not necessarily the person that you're meant to be with. And in some situations that is true. You never know what kind of person you could really find yourself being attracted to, or that you could really have a stimulating relationship with and a stimulating attraction to, by talking to somebody that's not necessarily your type. You know, I've actually been there and done that before, so I do know that that is a true thing. You know, I had to get past the physical, and once I got past the physical, like, everything else was so on point, and it was so unlike anything that I had ever had, that I was just like, wow, like I should have let not necessarily let my guard down, but you know, I should have let my type go, and this, you know, my dream man, what I'm imagining in my head, I should have let that thing go out the window a long time ago, because I've been out here missing out. So I did understand where Tommy was coming from when he told the ladies that. So let me tell y'all how everybody's date went. Okay, so since the purpose of this particular group of dates was for the ladies to explore their options, Alexis chose to go out with Ron, because she said Ron is actually her second choice. AJ is her number 1. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I found that kind of funny, because it's like Ron has went out of his way to express that Alexis is his number 1. He's expressed it to all of us. He's even expressed it to Chrysanthemum. And for whatever reason, she's feeling AJ more than she's feeling Ron. So it just made me think like, man, Tommy pulled this exercise out right on time, because you're more attracted. Your number one is giving you less time, less effort, less everything than your number two. But you're still more vested in number one than you are in number two. So I'm just like, Alexis, like, what's your angle, girl? Is it just a sex thing for you? Because don't y'all ever forget that the first time she ever had a one-on-one with AJ, she kept throwing out these sexual subliminal type of, you know, flirtation. So is it just that you're looking for potential good peen, and in your head you're envisioning wild, rough, nasty sex with AJ, and you might not necessarily see all of that with Ron? You can see the business aspect of it. You can see more on the spiritual side with Ron. You can see more on the, you know, responsible side with Ron. But when it comes to having Mr. Nasty Time, your mind instantly goes to AJ. Listen, Alexis, if I'm wrong, you can call me out on my shit. I don't mind being called out. And I just feel like that is where her mind is right now. I feel like if Alexis broke down her list for us, sex would definitely be number one. She can work her way around finances. She can work her way around, you know, certain personality traits. She can work her way around anything, as long as the sex is what she expects it to be. And that's just my personal opinion on that. But anyway, so like I said, Ron ends up being her number two, but so that's who she ended up on a date with. And so they went to putt-putt. They went to play miniature golf. And you know, they seem to be out there having a good time. And as you can see, Ron made sure that he was sneaking in all the little moments he could to touch her. So, you know, he greeted her with a nice little warm hug or whatever. He actually picked her up. He picked her up and hugged her. And as they were playing miniature golf, he came from behind her and made sure he slid his little arm around her waist. And she was like, this feels good. And that's what I'm saying. It's like Alexis thinks like a man. Alexis very much so thinks like a man. And so, you know, it's like a lot of times in almost any instance, she can turn it into something sexual and sensual. And, you know, I don't see anything wrong with that. I definitely don't see anything wrong with it. But I just want her to make sure that her number one, number two, 4 or 5 know that that's what she's on. You know what I'm saying? You know, the ladies have all painted AJ out to be this, you know, this player or this, I forget what they kept calling him, but you know, they think of him as being very self-centered, that he's all for self. And so, you know, if that's the case, then Alexis, you need to make sure that AJ, your number one, Mr. All About Himself, knows that, hey, bruh, you know what I'm saying? We ain't got to talk about going down the aisle no time soon. We don't even have to talk about being committed no time soon. But what we do need to talk about is me knowing what's behind them Calvin Kleins. That's what I need to know. And I just kind of, no, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that. Let me move on with their date. So, let me tell y'all what Alexis got on my goddamn nerves. Alexis was getting on my nerves with keep throwing out the fact that she is Ron's number one. Alexis, you have been saying ever since episode 2 that Ron, you are Ron's number one. It's nothing wrong with that, and it is facts. But why do we have to keep hearing about that? Because it's coming across really childish at this point. I mean, it was almost instantly once they got on the date and they were greeting each other with a hug. And I think it was actually during the hug when she was like, that's a way to greet your number one. I'm like, okay, here she go with this number one shit. Then as the date goes on, she said something else about being his number one. And I'm just like, girl. Oh, I know what she asked. She asked Ron a question. She was like, well, you know, I know you still been hanging out with Chrysanthemum and woody whoop. But, so I just need to know, am I still your number one? Or, you know, what's going on with that? What's going on with you and Chris? I think that because Ron has already expressed to her that she is his number one, she has kind of put him on the back burner because it's like, oh, I already got him in the bag. Like, I feel like that's how she looks at Ron. I already got Ron in the bag, so I need to put my focus, I need to put my eggs in another basket. Like, maybe that's how AJ got to number one, because like, when it comes to the whole Ron and Chrysanthemum and her triangle, it has just turned into a competition at this point, and it has become very, very petty. And it's just like, listen, you're not attracted to Ron like that for real. You just want to keep flirting with him, telling him what he want to hear. Whatever these conversations that y'all are having on a daily basis is obviously something that's holding his attention. And, you know, they could be genuine conversations, but I still feel like it's just on a friendship level with Alexis, because, you know, it's like, okay, he's not competition anymore. There's no thrill of the chase there for her. So it's just like, okay, well, I'm his number one, so I'm going to go do something else because he ain't going nowhere. And that's what I don't like about Alexis playing this game, because the name of this show is Ready to Love. This is not a game show. This is a reality show. So just like I jumped on Chrysanthemum and Stacy for trying to switch up the game and, you know, make their own motive and come in and twist up and shake up shit and do their own thing, I'm going to get on your ass too, Alexis, because you're out here turning this into a game, and you're playing the game because you're more focused on stepping on top of the other ladies than you are about really honing in and focusing in on who you're making genuine connections with. And I don't like that. So you need to get that together, because I feel like during this date with Alexis and Ron, I don't think, in my memory, I don't remember them actually having a real moment where they were actually sitting down or having real conversation about much of anything. Let me see what my notes say. AJ is her number one. I already told y'all that. Alexis says that she has a spiritual past, and Ron says that he has been out here living in Alexis says that she has a spiritual past, but Ron says that he's been out here living like a rock star. And Alexis said that she was okay with that, you know, because Ron already told us about his past back in the Gap when he was on that date with Chrysanthemum. So, you know, we already know this man has a past, and that's all well and good. But Alexis says that she's absolutely okay with that. Ron says that he loves how Alexis lets him lead, and together they are a power couple. So again, like, I know that you're not just completely blowing Ron off, but something is giving me the vibe that you could definitely be blowing a little smoke up Ron's ass and making Ron think that it's more than what it really is. I think that you No, I'm sorry. I think that Ron is feeling you way more than you are feeling him, because all of that touchy-feely, flirty that Ron was giving you, if that would have been AJ, you would have been sopping it up. You would have been equally just as all over him, and you didn't do Ron like that. So I think that you and Ron could forge a really good friendship, but I don't know about a love connection. I don't think you see it. I don't think you see it, and you're just not ready to be honest with Ron about that, because because you're petty. You don't want to be honest because you know that Chrysanthemum would be the next person on your heels pertaining Ron, and you just don't want to give Chrysanthemum the upper hand. It's really all that is. You don't want Ron for real, but you don't want Chrysanthemum to have him either. So Alexis, sit your petty ass down. Who is our next date, y'all? Let's see. Amber goes on a date with AJ. Okay. Their date, they met like at a park, and it looks like they went and got some juices, maybe like some smoothies or something from a smoothie shop. So they're just sitting down in the park, and they greet each other. I think they greeted each other with a hug. And soon as they sat down, Amber pretty much just ripped him a new asshole as soon as he sat down, because he was like, wow, you know, this is the first time that we actually got to have a one-on-one and sit down with each other. And she was like, yeah, because, you know, you don't pay me no attention. And he was like, no, you know, it's not like that at all. It's just that, you know, we haven't gotten around to it or whatever. And she said, well, you know, I just want to be honest with you and let you know that, you know, you come across a little standoffish. You come across a little arrogant. You have this persona that when you step in the room, it's like, yeah, I'm AJ, I'm attractive, here I am. If you want me, I'm yours for the taking, but you gonna have to come and get me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna pursue you. I'm gonna let you run up on me. And I ain't even gonna hold y'all. Everything that Amber was saying, I completely agreed. Now, when AJ did his confessional, he completely denied all of it. He said that that's not him, that's not his character, you know, and he's not sure why he reads that way. But I kind of call bullshit. I think that AJ was just taken aback at the fact that soon as she sat down, she read his ass like a book. And he didn't really know how to feel about that. So at that point, it left him kind of like in an awkward position or whatever. So, you know, they sat there, they had a conversation, and it was pretty much that they came to the agreement that they will put in an equal amount of energy to get to know each other. You know what I'm saying? Because they both feel the same way at this point. It's like, okay, the attraction is there, but that's all that we know. You know what I'm saying? AJ thinks that Amber is a very beautiful woman, and Amber, of course, thinks that AJ is a handsome man, but that he's stuck up, or, you know, he's all for self. So it's like the only compromise is, you know, if you put in effort, I'll put in effort. If you take 2 steps, I'll take 2 steps. You know what I'm saying? This is gonna be a 50-50 thing, because I already feel some type of way about you. So what I need you to do is prove me wrong. So if you put forth effort to pursue me, I'll definitely reciprocate. But if you don't, then, you know, you have proven me right, and you have a good day. I wish you the best. That's pretty much where Amber was coming from. And as you can see from this picture, Amber is looking like, yeah, I know this is the last time I'm gonna hear from this ninja, so let me just go on and get out everything I gotta say and let him go on about his business. That's what Amber was giving. She wasn't playing with him. And as you can see, AJ sitting there with the stuck face like, damn, is this scene over yet? Like, this girl is a beast. So, yeah, that was Amber and AJ. Let's see who we got next. Okay, so, of course, the whole date with Amber and AJ was a bust. It was definitely a bust. So, Amber also took it upon herself to go on a date with Joelle. And to me, this was the best pairing for the exercise that Tommy was talking about. When he says go out with the opposite, he means the total opposite. So that's why, like, when Alexis picked Ron, I'm like, that's not really a challenge for you because this is somebody that you talk to every day. So obviously there is at least some type of attraction there, and there, you know, y'all have already started to build something. So why would you pick Ron to go out with? But whatever. But putting Amber with Joelle, I think that when you think about opposites and shaking it up, like, that was it. Amber and Joelle. So shout out to you, Amber, for calling Joelle and saying what's up with that date. So yeah, they go to a restaurant called I think it was called Lucio's. I want to say what's the name of the restaurant, but anyway, the angle that it was showing from where they were sitting at, it looks like the restaurant is very quaint, very sexy. It was definitely a vibe from the view that we could see. And they greet each other with a really nice hug, and Joelle actually asked her was it okay if he could kiss her on the cheek. And she was like, I mean, you know, I guess. And she said that if the date goes well, excuse me, at the end of the date, she will kiss him on his cheek. And he was like, oh, okay. So, you know, they sit down and they're definitely having a conversation. And in Joelle's confessional, he said that, you know, he was very surprised that Amber invited him out on a date, number one. And he was like, you know, one thing about Joe, one thing about me, baby, like, you ain't gonna catch Joelle running up behind no little 31-year-old little, you know what I'm saying, little something just cause, you know what I'm saying, she's sexy or whatever. He was like, you know, little mama ain't the only one that's out here sexy like that, because, you know, Venetia, she got it too now, baby. She got it too. And and we was like, yes, we know, Joelle. We know that, you know, Venetia got it going on for you. So, but he said that he was very surprised that he was invited out with her, number one. But number two, he was very impressed with her maturity level. And, you know, of course, by being having the career choice that Amber has, I'm sure that has a lot to do with it. And then just hearing the little bit that we've heard about the way that she was raised, she kind of had to grow up before a lot of us, before the age that a lot of us would have had to grow up. So, I mean, it makes sense for Amber to have the maturity level that she has. But Joelle was really attracted to it. He really was. He was very attentive throughout the date. He was smiling. You know, she asked him how his day was going, and he was like, man, you know, whatever I was going through earlier in the day, you have completely, you know, just erased all of the negative, and I'm just enjoying being here with you. And they also had a conversation because, you know, of course, Joelle wanted to let Amber know the situation about his wife passing and things of that nature. So he asked her how do you feel about stepping in to a ready-made family with their mother not being in the picture anymore and not being, not being here on earth anymore? And she said, I would never try to take the place of their mom, but at the same time, I love kids. So, it's definitely not a problem because she wants kids. And so, that was a really big plus for Joel, and it actually gave him something to think about, because throughout this season so far, we have not really seen Joel have any other serious interactions with any of the other castmates. So for Amber to step in and go on the date with him, it was really like a shakeup. I enjoyed it. And hell, apparently Joel did too. And Amber did as well, because at the end of the date, he did get that kiss on the cheek that she promised him if the date went well. So, she enjoyed herself. And she also said that she felt some type of way about kissing Joel on the cheek, because she kind of felt like she was doing Chris wrong. But, it was what it was. Let me see if I left anything out. Nope. Okay, I gave y'all everything for Amber and Joel. So the next person, the next couple that goes out is Chrysanthemum and Mr. Chocolate Chris. Okay, so they end up going to, I'm not even sure if that was a restaurant or just like a little scenic area. I'm not sure where they were, but they went somewhere where they sat down and shared a glass of champagne. And they were pretty much just getting to know each other. And Chris lets us know in his confessional that he had already wrote Chrysanthemum off, because he had tried to reach out to her in the beginning. He said he tried more than on more than one occasion. He tried to reach out to her, and he never got a response. It was like she left his ass on red. So he chalked that up to be what it was. So for Chrysanthemum to reach out and contact him to go on a date, he didn't get excited about it, but he was willing to just, at least see what it was about. So, they sit down and they're having this casual conversation. And I know this has absolutely nothing to do with nothing, but I figured out what it is about Chrysanthemum that I don't really care for. It's the way that she holds her mouth, and she gets kind of like this little thing going when she talks, and when she's talking about certain stuff, and it gives her this snooty look, this look like, and a little bit of Miss Treachable. Okay, that's what it's giving me, because it's giving me I'm tooting my nose up, but I'm doing it with my mouth. So I don't like it. I don't like it at all. And that's what it is. I finally, because I was like, I couldn't put my finger on what it was that was giving me this vibe about Chrysanthemum, but that's what it is. It's how she holds her mouth. But either way, as they're having conversation, she goes back into this story of how, she's half black, half Italian, because her mother was just, determined to get with an Italian and have an Italian baby. Chrysanthemum, we got that story the first time, and I understand that, you're filming, you're recording, so you don't know who heard the story and who didn't. I get it. But if you don't end up marrying anybody from this cast, which means you're still out here in the world searching for love, everybody doesn't need to know that story. Because in this day, in this climate, like, nobody really cares about your Italian dad. And then she even went in further to say, yeah, I look just like him, even though, you know, I just met him 6 years ago, but you know, me and him, we get along. We have the greatest relationship ever. That's great. I feel like every female should have, you know, a good relationship, a healthy relationship with their father. So I'm definitely not knocking you there, but it just seems like you put a lot of emphasis on the fact that your father is Italian, or that you're another race other than African American, and nobody cares. You know what I'm saying? Because if you let Frankie, Keisha Cole mama, tell it, Keisha Cole's dad is Italian as well. But you don't hear Keisha Cole going around from north, south, east, and west telling everybody, hi, my name is Keisha Cole. I'm half black and Italian. No, nobody cares. Nobody cares, because when we look at you, Chrysanthemum, it's clear to tell that you are African American. So whatever else comes after that, it really doesn't matter. When we look at Keisha Cole, we can tell that she's black. Whatever else is in there, it really doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't want you to keep putting so much emphasis on your race, on your, that word is wanting to come out, but it's gonna come out wrong. I'm not gonna try to say it. I'm not gonna try to say it because I think my tongue is falling asleep at this point. So I'm saying the word in my head. I probably can spell it in my head, but I'm not gonna try to say it. So y'all, let's just leave me alone, okay? Anyway, let's see. Did they talk about anything worth a damn? Let's see. She told the story about being black and Italian. You know, Chris did talk to her about his experience growing up, because, you know, like she said, she just met her father 6 years ago, and he said, you know, I think that's beautiful because I never had a relationship, or, you know, of any type with my father, because my father knew of me, but he didn't want anything to do with me. And not too long ago, he received a phone call saying that his father passed away. So he never got that opportunity to try to build anything with his father, which is definitely unfortunate. It's definitely unfortunate, but that was the little moment that they shared together. And after they had that intense of a moment and that serious of a moment, Chris looked her in her eyes and just let her know. He said, can I just read you real quick? And she was like, yeah, sure, go ahead. And he said, you know, I feel like you're sitting at about 70-30. It's like 70% of you is feeling me, feeling the conversation, really trying to see where this could go. But then the other 30% is like, not so much. I don't know what she said to him in his face, but in the confessional, she was like, yes, honey, you know, you pretty much hit the nail on the head. Like, I see you, but I don't really see you. So, at the end of that day, it was pretty much established that Chris and Chrysanthemum can only be friends. It's not gonna work. It's a no for the both of them. But you know, Chrysanthemum was already saying from the beginning that she was actually excited to go out with the opposite of what she's used to, because that could definitely be her problem. But it looks like Chris was not the one to persuade her that, you know, opposites do attract. because she still left his ass in the friend zone, and Chris feels the same way. So it was kind of mutual. It was no hard feelings there on either side. So the next couple that goes out is Liz and Jason. We kind of saw this one coming, and it worked out that, you know, Tommy wanted to do this particular exercise this week because you remember Jason had really been feeling Liz ever since the masquerade ball, and Jason kind of left an impression on Liz at the end of that night anyway, so she wanted to take him out anyway. So it just kind of worked out for the both of them, and they met at, it said aquarium, so I don't know if that was really their aquarium or not, because then in the background it also looked a little kiddish, so I don't really know. But anyway, they did outside activities, and I don't really know if Liz knew exactly what the date was gonna consist of, because Mama pulled up in this lime green cat suit, and she was giving everything that it was supposed to give. And Jason was absolutely delighted about it. You know, he went in for the hug, and, you know, it started out with a decent little hug, and it quickly turned into his hands sliding down to the waistline. And I'm just like, Jason, get your hands off that lady hips like that. But Jason said, look, if you gonna pull up in this cat suit like this, I at least gotta get a little grab at the waistline. I gotta do what I gotta do. So anyway, they sit down and talk for a minute, and then they end up getting on the Ferris wheel. Well, now Jason said that Jason let her know from the beginning that she makes him nervous. And she was like, oh, you know, don't be nervous, whatever. And she was like, you said that you were, I forget, y'all, if he was 36 or 38. I don't remember how old he was. But he was like, yeah, you know, I'm in my 30s or whatever. And she said, well, you know, I'm 40. So how do you feel about dating an older woman? And he was like, I think it's wonderful. You know, I don't have absolutely no issue with dating an older woman. And he was like, and for the record, you look younger than me. Oh, Liz hit Jason with the same question that her and David have been pretty much asking all of the cast. She said, how do you feel about sex before marriage? Like, how do you feel about withstaining? That is not the word Y'all, my body is really shutting down. It's really shutting down. Oh, Lord. Help me, Lord. Help me. I'm almost done with this review. Okay. So, she said, how do you feel about sustaining, I think that's the right word, from sex until marriage? Okay. And Jason was like, listen, it'll be a struggle. I mean, it would be a struggle for me, but I could do it. You know, if that's something that we've sat down and we've discussed, like I feel like if it's really worth, you know, having and a relationship worth fighting for, I'm definitely open to doing it. So, you know, that made Liz pretty comfortable, because all of the other men that she's asked, they pretty much said, yeah, no, you can go ahead. You and your cat can get up out my face. So, you know, after she got her main question out of the way, they were ready to go get on the Ferris wheel. So they're on the Ferris wheel. They're just having like this easy breezy conversation. Liz has her long, beautiful hair just blowing in the wind. You know, her cat suit is still giving what it's supposed to give. She's, you know, got her leg crossed facing Jason. And It was just like a sex appeal overload for Jason. He couldn't take it anymore. The mood was right, the conversation was right, Liz's body was sitting there looking right. So my boy Jay went in for the kill. He took his hand and he smushed her face like a freaking basketball, and he sucked her lips into, no, I'm just playing, y'all. I'm definitely putting 10 on 20, but I'm sorry, 20 on 10. Oh, bum 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 bum. And okay, y'all, I gotta wrap this thing up because I am losing it. I am losing it. But yeah, so yeah, he goes in for the kill and he actually kissed her on the lips. And Liz said that she was very, very shocked and surprised that Jason was her first kiss throughout this experience, but she was okay with it, you know. Of course, she probably expected David to be her first, which of course, you know, we all would have. But that ain't no different than us thinking that Joel's first kiss would have been Vernisha, but as we can see, that was Amber. So you just never know. But anyway, so they shared that kiss, and then when they got off the Ferris wheel, of course, they just had a little bit more conversation once they got off the Ferris wheel. He was helping her with her bags, and he went in for one more kiss. He kissed her on the lips again. She didn't hold back. She didn't look uncomfortable. And yeah, she said that she enjoyed herself. And Jason definitely enjoyed himself because he damn near couldn't keep his hands off of her. And the way that the amount of affection and the touchiness that was going on from start to finish, I had mixed feelings about it, Jason, because it made me think that you have potential to be a very clingy person. And don't get me wrong, some women love clingy. You know, some women love to know that my man wants to be right here, stuck to my titty as many hours out of the day as he possibly can. But I don't know if you are the type of woman that is looking for a clingy man. I don't know. So Jason, you gave me clingy, but you also gave me slightly aggressive. I don't know. I can't really put my finger on why I got that kind of vibe, but yeah, you definitely gave me slightly, just slightly aggressive. It was probably the way you went in for the kiss, I'm thinking, is what's making me say that. But yeah, I'm definitely not, when I say aggressive, I'm definitely not saying Ike Turner vibes. That's not what it's giving. That's not what it's giving. But you're giving me if she wanted to go to a church event, but you wanted to have a night of cuddling, you would come up with some type of guilt trip to make her not go to her church event and stay home and cuddle with you instead. Like, that's what you give me. That's what it is. That's what you give me. Again, these are just my personal opinions. I don't know you from a paper bag, but that was just from that little bit of a date. That's what you gave me, okay? Second to the last couple, we have Kyra and AJ. Kyra and AJ go out on a date to this fancy schmancy restaurant. He rented out this private room for her, and it looked like it was giving me wine cellar. It was really cute. Kyra lets him know that she is really feeling him, but he is a bit of a wild card. So again, AJ cannot AJ cannot catch a break as far as these ladies feeling like he has this playboy persona. Like, it just kind of is what it is. And so Kyra breaks the ice by having them play Never Have I Ever. All right. So the first thing she asks is, never have I ever cheated on someone. And she expresses that the last time she cheated was back in middle school or high school. I don't remember which one it was. But, you know, as an adult, she said she's never cheated. But she went ahead and took her drink anyway. And AJ had to take a drink as well because he definitely has cheated. And then AJ says, never have I ever been in love. And he took a drink. And she wanted to know what that was all about. And that's when AJ went into this conversation of basically not being able to trust anyone that he's ever been with. It's just hard for him to hold on to the words that his partner is saying to him. So that was kind of like a red flag to Kyra, because even as she was digging further into that conversation, she didn't feel like she was getting genuine full communication out of him, even right there in that moment. She was feeling disconnected from the conversation, and she called it out. She pretty much called it out. And she said that there is something off about their connection. And she said that they could be talking about a particular topic and he just kind of veers off to the left. And he said he's heard that before. She says, when we talk to each other, sometimes the conversation veer off to the left. He said that he was raised in a single parent household, but he is looking for... Hold on, y'all. I got something in the way. Okay, here we go. He says that he was raised in a single parent household, but he is definitely looking for a true companion. I definitely understood where Kyra was coming from, because AJ, you did all that and you said all that, but it's like you're still not answering what I'm asking you. You're still not answering the question. You're just telling me something that you think I want to hear so that we can move on to something else and that it does not get uncomfortable for you. But at this particular time, Kyra lets it slide. They move on. They have light conversation. They're laughing. They're joking. They're giggling with each other. And Kyra lets us know that AJ definitely redeemed himself with this date. I said, all right. Now, she was another one that I was not understanding why you picked AJ as your date. You know what I'm saying? You know what you and AJ have going on. So I would have liked Kyra to go out with Dietrich, or I would have liked Kyra to go out with David, but I don't know. Okay, now this is the last date. Vernisha goes out with Dietrich. Okay, that's the last date. Dietrich asked her, what does her days look like? And she said that her days are very busy. She has dance practice, choir rehearsal, working as a hairstylist. Like, her day is constantly busy. She's constantly moving. And he wants to know, you know, well, do you have time for a man? And she said, you know, of course I have time for a man. you make time for the things that you really want. So even though I still have all of this other stuff going on, I know I want a happy, successful relationship. So I'm going to also squeeze the time in to make that happen as well. So with that conversation being had, Dietrich also wants to know, like, what is it that Vernisha is actually looking for? And she said, I am just looking for a leader. I'm looking for a leader. I'm just looking for a real man. And he said, well, hold the presses there, because there are a lot of different definitions to real man. And I completely agree with that when he said that. There is a bunch of different definitions of a real man. Some women feel like, you know, if you can't pay all the bills, you're not qualified to be a real man. Some people feel like, you know, if your sex game is weak, you're not considered a real man. And it can even go as far as some women feel like, if you're not putting your hands on me, if you know, if I don't have a black eye, if I don't have a bloody nose, if it's not some type of abuse there, whether it be physical or mental or both, then they're not with a real man. You know, there are thousands of definitions of what a real man is. And so Dietrich is just trying to, you know, he's just trying to get some clarification. And so he's like, well, do you think I'm a real man? And she said, I don't know. Like, that's why I'm asking. I'm trying to see, you know, exactly what you're about. And he said, you know, you really scare me. And she was like, what? Like, why do I scare you? And he was like, because, you know, you're so tough. And she was like, I'm not tough. Like, it's nothing tough about me. And he was like, yes, you are tough. And he was like, you know, I'm very attracted to you, but, you know, you are tough. And then he said at some point that, that him and Vernisha had these sparks flying between each other. And I'm just like, child, you probably had some sparks flying, but Vernisha, I don't even think her firecracker got warm, much less lit up. Dietrich, you read that wrong, sir. But anyway, yeah. So, you know, he's telling her that she's tough, and she's just like, no, that it doesn't have anything to do with being tough. I just have zero tolerance for the bullshit, is basically what Vernisha said. So after that conversation between those two, Dietrich said, look at here, you done made me so nervous that I don't even want to eat my damn food no more. But I do want to still walk you to your car. And she said, okay. And when I tell you, she nonchalantly was still sitting there eating her fruit and whatever food was on that plate. I think she said that they went to a restaurant called Taste of something. But anyway, whatever it was, Dietrich didn't want his, but Vernisha said, look, I'm about to eat, so you can do whatever you want to do. Vernisha says the fact that Dietrich was nervous and wasn't really strong and confident in his conversation, it was a major turnoff for her. And you could clearly see that she was over his ass. You know, it was written all over her face. She didn't have to say a word. She didn't. She had to say a word because, you know, she was sitting, if y'all could have seen her eating that, it was the fruit for me. Okay, now we are back at the ladies lounge. Okay, it is time to dish out the tea. So Alexis says that her and Ron's date was magical and that she is still his number one. Y'all, Alexis is still out here screaming number one. I don't know what's going to happen if Ron just wakes up one day and makes another one of these ladies his number one. I don't know what side of Alexis we're going to see. if this is to happen, because she is just floating on the petty train of life, knowing that she is Ron's number one. She spits it and spews it out of her mouth every single chance she gets, and it's definitely worked my nerve at this point. But it's not stopping her, because my nerve got worked. Has nothing to do with Alexis, and she is going to continue to scream, I'm Ron's number one. I'm Ron's number one. I'm Ron's number one. Alexis, we have established that Ron is your number one. Please don't say it again. At any rate, while she's sitting at this table full of ladies, she makes a point to say that she is still Ron's number one. And we all know that she just said that to make a dig at Chrysanthemum. But Chrysanthemum did not change the look on her face. You know, she did not express any type of, you know, form of being bothered in the slightest. So good for you, Chrysanthemum, because I don't know if a bitch like me could have held it in. Let's see. Amber spoke about her date with Joel. You know, she said that the date was really nice. And she did say, she talked about the kiss on the cheek when the date began. And she talked about kissing him on the cheek at the end of the date. Vernisha said she's not going to put up a front. It bothered her. Okay. It did bother her that Joel was out here kissing on other women, regardless if it was the cheek, lip, neck, toes. She don't give a damn. The point is, you haven't put them lips on her, so now she's wondering, is it really what you say it is? Do we really have the connection that you say we got? You know what I'm saying? So, cause you know, Vernisha's out here thinking that they vibing, but he out here kissing on other people. So what's the real tea? Kyra says that this was the most romantic date that she has ever been on. Okay, yeah. Kyra said that that was the most romantic date that she had ever been on with AJ. Of course, you know, I told y'all, she said that he definitely redeemed himself. And she was just telling Tommy how he pulled out all the big guns and all the stunts. And Tommy was relieved to hear that AJ had made such a major comeback. Okay. Let's see. Liz spoke about her date with Jason, and she did let the ladies know that while they were on the Ferris wheel, Mr. Jason went in for a kiss. She didn't talk about that second kiss that he gave her once they got off the Ferris wheel, but she did talk about the Ferris wheel kiss. And Tommy was like, well, what did you think about it? Did you like it? And she was like, yeah, you know, I did like it. And this has Kyra feeling some type of way, because her and Jason have not exchanged a kiss, and that's definitely her number one. So she's feeling some type of way about that. But she says that she is very competitive. So, you know, she's just pretty much soaking up all the information that Liz has put out on the table, and she's gonna make sure to step her cookie up, is basically what she said. Vernisha says that she was not feeling Dietrich because of his non-leadership. You know, she's already expressed that she's looking for a man that can lead her, and that is one of the main reasons why she is so attracted to Joel, because, you know, we all know Joel is just not the type of brother that is going to let you push him over. She's not looking for a pushover. She is looking to be led, like she has said time and time again. So for her, Dietrich is just not gonna cut it. Let's see. Chrysanthemum says that she was not feeling Chris. Amber says that AJ is just playing the game. And this sends Kyra, you know, over the top, because she's like, dang, how you just gonna throw AJ out there? And she was like, well, you threw Chris out there, so all's fair in love and war, bitch. So yeah, that's how that went. And when Amber made her statement about AJ just out here playing the game, the rest of the ladies decided that they would chime in about AJ as well. Vernisha said that she was not feeling AJ. Amber is not feeling AJ. Alexis is not feeling... Who the hell is Alexis? Y'all, I don't know who I was trying to say right there, because it ain't no Alexis on this cast. I just be doing the most. Oh, I do got an Alexis. What? Y'all, I promise y'all I want to cut the camera off right now. I want to cut the camera off right now and just roll over in this bed, push these cameras on the floor, and just go to sleep. That's what I want to do, because at this point, I have gone crazy. I have gone crazy. But we're at the end. So, if you're here with me, I love you so much. I love you so much. We're wrapping it up. I promise you, we're wrapping it up. Yeah. So the ladies that are not feeling AJ were Vernisha, Amber, Alexis, Liz. Okay, those are the 4 ladies that are not feeling AJ. Kyra took Dietrich out, and Alexis takes AJ out. Okay, so y'all know how it goes at the end. They have to decide who's gonna stay, who's gonna go. So like I said, Kyra took Dietrich out, and she pretty much just is letting him know that, look, we decided that we just don't really get to see all of you. Like, you're holding back, you're not putting yourself completely out there. So, you know, what's going on with you? And Dietrich says that this process has made a shyness come out of him that he didn't expect to have. And I believe him. I believe him, because I think that if you go back to episodes 1 and 2, you can kind of see more personality out of Dietrich. But as the episodes start to come down, you do get a more quiet, a more reserved type of person. Now, I don't know if we were getting more personality out of him when he was dealing with Tressa, because Tressa was the plus size girl. So, you know, he was more comfortable with her, because it's like, oh, well, I don't have to be perfect around you, because, you know, in America standards, you're not perfect either. So I don't know if that's the reason we got a little more personality out of him. But child, we just get quiet, laid back, super reserved. So I'm really not sure which Dietrich is the real Dietrich. But I kind of want to say the guy that we met closer in the beginning of this season is more so probably what Dietrich is like. He is fun. He is, you know, he can carry on good conversation. And he may even have those leadership qualities that Vernisha is looking for. But if he's never dealt with that caliber of a woman, then he's not going to know how to handle a Vernisha or any other woman that knows what she wants. You know, Dietrich is just never going to be set up for that if he don't get his shit together. Okay. Alexis took AJ out, and you know, Alexis walks in and she's all confident, and she says she hadn't really talked to AJ like that, so she's pretty much just ready to lay it all out on the table. And child, AJ did a 1-2 step and flipped Alexis' ass around, and the next thing you know, she was nestled up in between his legs. And I'm just like, girl. And she had to check herself and say, okay, Alexis, get your shit together. So she pretty much lets AJ know that damn near all the ladies put him in the bottom for this week. And he was looking like, you know, what the what? and he was like, well, what about you? And she said, well, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'll put you in the bottom too. Like, because you don't do right. You don't do right, you don't act right. So what you want me to do? I put your ass in the bottom. So AJ was definitely looking crazy because pretty much like Amber said, yeah, you thought your good looks, your smooth talking, your sexual vibes were gonna push you further on down in this process, and everything that you're doing is gonna be the main thing that get your ass put out. Okay, we ain't got no problem telling your ass that you're not ready to love. But that was actually not the case this week, because Kyra had to let Dietrich know that, you know, because of you withholding so much and not really feeling like you're giving us everything that you have to give, we have come to the conclusion that you are not ready to love. And of course, Dietrich took it, you know, he took it on the chin, and he asked her, could he have a hug? So they hugged, and then he went on by his business. You know, he said it's no hard feelings. So, when he did his confessional, he, you know, he still didn't seem upset. He said that he knows that he should have put himself out there more, but it is what it is, and he'll just have to do better in the future. He said that he is going to take the next couple of months off just to be with himself and get to know himself more. And I think that that's a wonderful idea, because you need to figure, you seem like you really don't know what you want, you know, for you to feel the way that you felt about Tressa and say, oh, well, she's still giving me homegirl vibes. But then you were head over heels, and Vernisha just makes you so nervous because she's a freaking goddess. And in reality, these women are shaped up very, very similar. Now, I do understand, yeah, Vernisha's stomach is a little flatter and Vernisha's arms are a little smaller. But if you were to put Tressa in the correct shapewear and she shrunk her arms just a little bit, they would be shaped just alike. And both of the ladies are on the shorter side, so you can't say that it was even a height difference. So I'm just a little bit confused on if you really know what you want, Dietrich, because you end up being interested in two ladies that had a lot of similarities to each other, but you immediately friend zoned one of them, and the other one was just had so much of everything that you were looking for that she made you so nervous that you couldn't even get your words out, to the point where you called her tough. Y'all, I'm not finna sit here and get mad. My brain fell asleep about 45 minutes ago. This review is already extremely late. It's about to be Friday again, and I'm just now dropping this review. So, you know, I'm just gonna end it. I'm just gonna end it because I'm not finna let Dietrich or nobody else frustrate me. I'm just not. Y'all, I love this show so much. And oh, let me apologize. I should have done that in the beginning of the video. I do apologize for this review being so late, but I did tell y'all that you know, I was just really weak. I was very fatigued and I just couldn't do it. So I hope that this video gave what it was supposed to give. I hope that the energy comes across the way that I want it to come across. And I'm gonna go to bed. So with that being said, I want y'all to be happy, be healthy, be safe. This is your girl P Hope, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye guys.